I'm going to show you 7 mindset shifts that you need to make right now in order to guarantee your success as a student. I've designed this channel to help you survive university and achieve your career development goals. So let's get into this. Number 1 is that you're a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for. This is a huge issue that strikes absolutely everyone, regardless of whether they're a student or not, and that's underestimating their own capacity and intelligence. What makes that even worse is when you overestimate the capacity and intelligence of other people around you. You feel like you're the only person in the room that doesn't understand what's going on, when in reality, everyone is just as confused as you are. I had this one friend that I shared a lot of my classes with that always managed to outperform me in absolutely everything that we did, and I continuously asked, how is it that you understand everything so well and in depth while the rest of us are so confused? Their answer to me, I'm just as confused as the rest of you. I'm just really good at hiding it. Odds are that all of the people in the same room as you are probably struggling just as much, if not more than you are, except they're hiding it. So don't worry and think that you're the only person that's having difficulty. Despite all of those struggles, nothing is outside of the scope of your capacity. If everyone else can learn it, then odds are that you can too. The thinking and effort that guides your intelligence is a lot more important than how much intelligence you have. Number 2 is to adopt a positive mindset. Beliefs have this really funny way of manifesting themselves into self-fulfilling prophecies. You are the product of your own mindset, so if you have negative beliefs, then odds are very likely that negative things are going to start happening to you when in reality they are all self-induced. In fact, the brain is so powerful that negative thoughts can actually manifest themselves into physical illness. Everyone is going to encounter their fair share of bad days, but we can quite literally convince ourselves otherwise simply by putting on a big smile and telling ourselves today is a great day. Start by removing any potential failure words from your vocabulary and replacing them with potential solutions to your problems instead. The words that you use have this incredibly powerful effect on how it is that you view the situation. Viewing something as a challenge rather than as impossible makes all the difference. Rather than telling yourself that something is impossible, ask yourself how it is that you can make it possible. This is going to engage the critical thinking part of your brain, and it's going to start magically feeding you solutions that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise simply by accepting that, oh, it's impossible, I can't do it. Number 3 is to realize that you do have time. If you ever catch yourself saying that you don't have time to do something, then map out your entire day from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to bed, and guaranteed you are going to find an empty place where it is that you have time to do whatever it is that you need to do. To this day, I still occasionally and subconsciously fall into this trap of telling myself that I don't have time for something, but this little activity of mapping out your day from beginning to end puts into perspective that you actually do have a lot of time to do whatever it is that you need to get done. You have 168 hours in a week. Assume that about 56 of them are spent sleeping, 30 are spent doing homework, 40 eating meals, 15 spent in class, 10 commuting to and from school, 10 engaging in whatever personal entertainment you like, 5 exercising. You would still have 28 hours left over to do whatever it is that you need to get done. There's this old saying that if you want something done, then you should ask a busy person because they are really good with managing their time and being efficient. By filling up your schedule with things to do, you guarantee that you are not going to waste any time when you jump from one activity to the next, as opposed to people that don't really map out their day and kind of just go with the flow. Number 4 is to not sweat the small stuff. This goes hand in hand with basic time management. If you're going to be an effective student, then you need to know exactly where it is that you should be allocating the majority of your efforts. To become an effective student, you need to master academic triage and determine exactly which readings, assignments, and tests that you need to study for are higher on the priority scale, while other evaluations can be pushed to the side and done later. If an assignment is worth 1% of your grade, then treat it as though it's worth 1%. Don't start pouring all of your hours into this assignment, especially if you have a 20% exam next week. Number 5 is to adopt positive habits that are going to benefit you in the long run. Just like you are the product of your thoughts, you are also the product of your habits. Adopting a set of healthy habits right now, like eating properly, sleeping properly, and exercising regularly, is going to compound over the long run. Likewise, if you're going to regularly indulge in destructive habits, then you are putting yourself on a path for self-destruction. Number 6 is to eliminate all doubt. It is really easy to fall into the trap of doubting ourselves and not realizing our own self-worth. This is especially difficult to do these days because of the rise of social media, where it is that everybody is going to be posting all of their best moments online. Remember that people aren't as likely to post about their problems as they are of their accomplishments, and that you're only seeing half the story. Think back to the last moment when it is that you felt genuinely proud for one of your accomplishments, regardless of how big or small it is. If you were capable of accomplishing that, then who's to say that you can't learn material from a university course? Plenty of people have graduated way before you, and plenty more are going to graduate after you. So why should you view yourselves as any different from any of those people? Number 7 is to appreciate the material. Students that want to learn will always outperform the students that feel as though they're being forced to learn. You can drag a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. If somebody wants to learn something, then they are going to move mountains and do absolutely everything possible in order to make sure that they learn that material. If somebody doesn't want to learn as a result of their why I'm doing this not being strong enough, then learning is going to become more of a chore than an enjoyable process. And the more enjoyable you make learning, the more likely you are to stick to it. Success is a journey, so don't only keep your eyes on the end goal, especially if that end goal could be many years away. Instead, enjoy the process. It's going to make you a lot more likely to study consistently and will make the end result a lot more rewarding. If you're looking for more tips on how to study consistently and ace your